Coach, the Carolina Rains have arrived as we are inside a soggy Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Set 91.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 13 yards on the game's opening play. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, play of his
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. He'll drop to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And he's got his man Hilton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 42. So opening drive, third down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the post.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up first and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Set up. 60 Pittsburgh. Man.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Balazs. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
Down. 60 or.
McCaffrey. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with
like
sports.
They crack a forehand back out and we get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the
whole thing.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
It's just me and you.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1.
Ready.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Buying time to his left. And that's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, Frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Kraft looking deep for Adams. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Got it.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And now this is Hilton on the receiving end. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He's going to look into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing the touchdown, New Orleans. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2nd and 5. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Ready? 50, plant.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Hey, that's good. That's good.
Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Ready. 70, Indy.
Tackle.
He'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores for the early games going on here around the NFL. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kraft. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Carolina. Devontae Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point from McManus is good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here? Try to in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's not going to get me.
Back to throw.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back to throw here. Looking here for Smith downfield. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
15 line.
It's our field. It's our field.
On 1st and 10, Kraft. And that's complete to McCaffrey. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And this one is right down the middle. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorites.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Kalen Ballage, 84 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. McManus's point after is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's set a tone.
They'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's going to be intercepted. intercepted a third time. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Look at me. Door.
Now Balaj looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 31.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Man, I got you. Man.
On the ground, McCaffrey. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Well, he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not. Not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Let's go, defense.
Ready.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Cummins got his man complete over the middle. It's Maxwell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Shoot.
From the gun, Cummins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
He don't want it. Check 59.
Throwing again. Cummins. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down. Cummins. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Let's go. 30 base. You're out.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
5.
They'll run here with Balaj. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Kill, kill, kill.
Again, McCaffrey. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Ready?
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one's going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. DeAndre Hopkins with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Saints get a bit closer. Lutz good on the extra point. And that will shave one more off this lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Panthers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Squeeze.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Shift.
Get it.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 35-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
I'm coming after you.
They run it again with Kamara, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Here we go. 10 Tucson.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Cummins. Complete to Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Cummins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. It's McCaffrey. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 1st down, Cummins. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it. Thomas, the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Ready. March 47. Army.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Panthers, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, Their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.